Welcome everybody to Tea with Stacy here at Stacy's Art Studio and Gardens. I hope you had a great weekend. And let's start it with what the tea it is that I'm drinking today. And it smells so good. The name of it is Paris. It is from Harney and Sons, Harney. And it has vanilla in it, currant, and bergamot, and black tea. So lovely. My son, he recommended it, and then also a really good friend mentioned it, and I was like, that sounds really good. I think I'll get some. So that's what I have today. What kind of tea are you drinking today? I hope something really yummy. So spring is on its way. We're busy starting to work more out in the gardens. I'll have some videos coming up for that. And today I wanted to talk about the process of infusing oils versus essential oil. Both are great benefits for us in all the products that I use and make. Essential oil is the plant has been steam distilled or pressed, and it pulls the oils out of the plant and preserves that wonderful smell of the plant. It's really impressive. That is the natural process, but personally I have to look out for and be aware of also what's called an absolute, and an absolute is usually sold near the essential oils, particularly the more expensive ones like jasmine or rose. Sometimes it will say an absolute, but an absolute has been processed with petrochemicals, so it's really dangerous for us in our home, so I can't use those. Just a little side note, you want to make sure it's essential oils so that you get the all natural thing. But infused oils is a different process, and it doesn't preserve the really good smell like essential oil does, but it does draw all the really great nutrients and benefits out of the plant. And it's a really old, just like essential oil, this is a really old process. It's been done for hundreds of years, and it's fabulous. So first of all, you grow the plant, and then you want to, harvest it, bring it in, and I do a quick wash of it. Even if you don't grow your plants with chemicals, you still got to wash your plants. And then I smack all the water off of the plant I can, for example, like the lemon balm. And then I tie it up in a bundle, and I have a few poles around the house up on the walls that I'll hang them from to dry or put them on drying racks, depending on the plant. That's what I do with the lemon balm. I have some lemon verbena here. The lavender I spread out flat on counters on parchment paper. The plantain one, I put that in a dehydrator because that one is a very wet plant. It takes a long time to dry. My roses, the rose petals, I pull them off the little rosebud. Like this is the little rosebud. But it retains a lot of water there in the middle. So I just pull the petals off. I have a really big basket that I set on this table throughout the summer, and I throw the petals in that basket, and every once in a while I fluff it up, shake the basket so it gets a lot of air in there, and then as it dries, I put them in a jar. The other plants are easily just tied up. So the important thing is to get them dry before you start to infuse them. And why is that? It's because the plants are holding and retaining water. Anything that has water will eventually grow bacteria. So we don't want that in our oils. So we make sure that all of the plants are really good and dry and have been stored. I store mine in a glass jar. As far as the dry plants, I feel the glass jar is the best way, but you don't have to. However, when you are infusing your oils with those herbs, you really need to put it in a glass jar so that there are no leaching of any kind of chemicals. So you want it all very natural. So that's the next step, is I stuff the jar full of the dry plant. This is lemon balm that is infusing right now. I still see the plant in there. It looks all seaweedy. It's very pretty. And I cover it with olive oil. I use olive oil as a base because historically it has been used for so long. It is a very good oil for the skin. I haven't met anyone who's allergic to olive oil yet. But if I do meet someone who's allergic to olive oil, I'll happily infuse plants in a different oil for them. Anyway, once that's stuffed in and the oil is covering it, cover it up. I mark a date on it, put it in a dry, cool place in my little apothecary shelves, and I let that sit for about 6 weeks. I like to do what is called the low and slow way. You can do it a few other ways, but I like to do it that way because I feel like the more time you give it in a slow way, like cooking a roast, you get the best stuff out of it. So after it's sat for about 6 weeks, then I go ahead and strain the oil. And I think it's really interesting. I want to show you the differences between these two oils. So this oil here, that's plantain, and you can see it's kind of greenish. And this one is calendula, and look how beautiful and orange that is. And so you can see how the plants have leached all their qualities right into the oil, and some of them aren't as strong of a color difference, but for example, with the lavender, you don't really see the purple, but you can smell the lavender that gets into that oil. And really what we're looking for is the benefits of the plant, not necessarily the smell of it, but it does smell good. It's wonderful. So that's the process of the infused oils that I do, and it's truly a joy to do it this way. Spring is coming, and I'm so excited about growing more herbs and more plants this year. And these are just an example of a few. I have a whole lot of other plants that are being infused. And then I meant to bring out my herb books, but I mean, I have so many of them. I look at what are the benefits of the plant, and then I also look at, are there any side effects or a problem with the plant? And so I make sure I use the ones that don't have any complications at all. So I want to look at that first. So like these are all really wonderful for skin, and I really am concerned about what goes on our skin. It's our largest organ, and it does absorb everything into our other organs. So that's why I'm, super cautious about only using natural lotions and natural things. And they are pretty hard to find these days. Even when something says it's natural, it's not necessarily natural. So that I thought would be an interesting point to share today, is that when something says it's natural, it usually means something is natural in it. You'll even go to natural grocery stores, and that's actually where I started to look for things. And you read those ingredients that are so tiny, you got to get out your magnifying glass to read it. And some of them are really great until you get to the very bottom, and then there's the word fragrance. And the word fragrance means it's not natural. Legally, that's what it means. And it is protected by a proprietary law, so they don't have to tell you what's in it. But fragrance is full of petrochemicals, and so at that point, I can no longer use this product. So it's just my little side note for you today, and I hope you're having a beautiful week ahead. And next week we'll talk about what's the difference between a lotion bar and lotion. All right, see you then. Bye. Be gentle with yourself. There's only one you.